In this video, I'll be uncovering a new zone that I found during my data mining session. This zone is called Morning and Havoc. This is basically the extension of the Echoes of Salt with the Sea Snake boss. This part right here, if I go to the left, I won't be able to re-enter this zone specifically, but where am I is I'm right under this part in this zone, which is really next to the Miriam, the room where you find Miriam in the Mother of Mothers. So if I go down this elevator, I'll be able to enter the Morning and Havoc zone. As you can see, this is a zone that is we refer to it as the Naval Cave level. This is basically a whole cave with ships and wrecked stuff around. You see that there are some warp points, however you cannot access them as they're not plugged to the global warp system. There are some enemies, new enemies too. There are 3 new enemies total. There are those runners enemies that just tends to rush towards you. They do die in 1 hit though. There are some electric balls enemies, and those enemies are one of the most dangerous, as they do throw axe. You can parry them. They can roll. During this roll, they may be able to throw you, and they have an execution too. Also, I'm taking a lot of damage from the different enemies as I am both in New Game Plus and I'm using the Brown Circle Down, which basically divides my defense by 2. What I wanted to show is that here there's a room containing a chest that might be actually, because I used the inventory command that actually adds all of the item, I don't know what's in this chest, but I think it's a rosary bed or something like that. Yeah, as you can see, those enemies tends to be a bit hard to deal with. Also, there are some new enemies, which are those towers. They'll basically shoot an orb that is coming towards you. Also, this ladder right here was not available when I first came. I had to hit this thing in order to get it to deploy. So this is a new mechanic in this zone, the ladder being unwarped. Also, there are a lot of different stuff. Let me equip. I want that. There are a lot of different stuff in this zone that you can find and explore. I will stop and dashing. I didn't grab the ledge. But yeah, it's a really long and massive zone to explore. And those electric beams do a lot of damage too. There are a lot of stuff you can explore, both from the upper side and from the bottom side. If you go all the way down right here, you have solid ground where you can stand on, but I think it's more fun to showcase what's around here. And in this room, what I found, sorry for the slight notification, I should just take work off. So yeah, there are actually some lore pieces. The gold under the black waters actually refers, from my point of view, to the sea snake. The sea snake is not actually you can't fight the boss in the current state of this game. But I do think the boss is going to be pretty wild. There are some files that refers to sea snake behavior within the game's code, but unfortunately we cannot use them to spawn the enemy in the current state of the game, as there are no sprites to be the placeholder. We could use any placeholder sprites, but the current state of the game cannot allow us to play this boss. Also, I will be doing another video regarding what's called gold and something dealing with some key pieces item like the severed right eye, of the traitor, and the broken left eye of the traitor, because I did find a lot of stuff concerning that. But yeah, here is the sea snake boss room. We can see that this was an image that heavily inspired the trailer we saw at Gamescom, but unfortunately there is not much to see in this room. But do wait, because there are still stuff that I want to show you, because there are some really neat information in this area of the game. So I'm going to take this part. Also, if you've watched the trailer, you might recognize this ship. As you can see, there also aren't any water in this area. I think this is going to be a full animation, that the water is going to be really awesome, but unfortunately, because we're in placeholder space, there aren't any animation for that yet, but I do think it's going to be awesome with the shaders and stuff. So this zone is going to be really completely different from a graphical perspective. So yeah, I just wanted to have the lore on the screen for a bit. So yeah, basically you can go from here. There's another chest here that you can do. It's funny because once you have a ladder going down, if you hit that ladder again, basically the ladder you deployed is going to disappear. So yeah, what I wanted to show you, because there aren't any maps here, you can have both a point on the way up and there are points on the way down too. That actually leads to many different areas. So there are a lot of stuff to explore in this part of the game. But the most important thing I did found, actually I want to take the save point that's right here. If you do go this way, there is going to be a connection. There is going to be a connection to another area of the game, which we are more familiar with. As you can see, this connected me to the Desecrated Cistern, where the Echoes of Salt are actually basically connected. And because the door was a door that was leading to the left of the room I was in, I do think the new Echoes of Salt are going to be around here, connected under the Desecrated Cistern from this huge pit we used to have as a containing the elevator going towards the top of the Desecrated Cistern. So yeah, and there is also a warp system here. But my the other thing I wanted to show you is there is actually a room going up here with a lot of enemies guarding it. But once you get there, you get to a new place with a new soundtrack too, called The Resting Place of the Sister. And basically what we can find here is a Tomb of Perpetua. I'm actually on New Game Plus, so I've defeated pretty much all of the bosses in the game. This is almost a 100% save file, it's 144%. Like, there are just some really dumb stuff missing, and I don't think that the Miriam trials have been done on the save file. So beside that, all of the in-game flags are done. So what I want to show you is what happens if I'm going there from a fresh save file. So I'm going to start a new game from here, and then I'm going just warp directly to this room where the resting place of the sister. And I'm going to use that using debug mode. This is a save file where debug mode is active, as you can see. So yeah, unfortunately we used to have a glitch that was allowing us to skip the beginning of the game, but unfortunately since this patch it's not doable anymore. So restarting the game every time actually loses 40 seconds. So here, we're back at the resting place of the sister, but from now on, the most important thing is that we didn't fight Esdras yet, or Perpetua. So when we arrive here, we actually have a dialogue with Perpetua herself. And those dialogues don't have any voiceover, so she's going to tell you that the strength of your felt has granted us this chance to have an unexpected meeting. We are acting behind the miracles back, and the miracles will be sure to punish us. You stand before the mausoleum under which rests my defeated body, and what you see of me is nothing but trickery, but my voice is true and free from sin. I have seen where your steps lead, and it is not toward the forbidden or secret that the high walls guard. Neither is it towards that which is blessed or embraced by the miracle itself. You are working towards what is beyond all of that, beyond the forbidden dream. Show this half scapular to the one who owns the other half, my brother. So she gives you this quest item called the Incomplete Scapula. If you've seen my previous video on data mining, you know that this item has a lot of relation regarding Esdras. So then it tells, he will show you the path towards another voice that, like mine, is free from the influence of the miracle. So this actually gives us a lot of backstory on Perpetua and Esdras. And go with the Father Penitent one. We can actually link that to the Father Retortus that we heard from the Blasphemous 2 trailer. So I think there are going to be... So basically what happens here is, this is an alternate quest line that basically makes us go rogue on the miracle and on everything we've been doing since that. So there's still one thing I want to show you, is that once I had that, I told myself, what happens if I go and see Esdras right now? So this is a save file where I do have the Incomplete Scapula, as you can see. And then I just managed to get the 3 holy wounds that are the condition to make Esdras appear. And what happens when I'm walking towards the Esdras fights is actually Esdras is here and is considered to be an NPC, so you can just talk with him. If you don't do that, usually when you arrive at Esdras' place, he's just fight you right off the bat. It's just when you approach him, the fight launches. He just talks a bit to you, and then he say "In guardia penitente," and then the fight goes on. But this is actually really new. You can interact with him. Unfortunately, when I press triangle, this doesn't do anything because I think the dialogue is not implemented yet. But this is actually the start of a new quest line, and this is actually really interesting regarding what is going to happen in the game. And also, because we don't fight Esdras, the Mother of Mothers is actually already open, so there is a lot of thing going on with that. And I do think that we're going to have a really fun way of interacting with the game, as it's going to be creating new quests, like new path and new way to interact. Because I also find, I'm teasing what I'm going to say in the next videos, but I do find another path where you have to get closer to Crescenta, and you have a lot of things happening towards Crescenta, and then I managed to find another thing that is basically one of the last part we show that have been shown in the trailer. So I do think there are going to be at least one new multiple and maybe multiple endings, but there are some really interesting things. And also, there are tying pieces together regarding all of the new bosses and the new interaction you can have pretty much everywhere. So, Wounds of Eventide is going to be an awesome DLC. We don't know everything yet, but we're going to have. Uh, there are actually a lot of things teasing us. I really wish we could play the final DLC right now, but I guess we will have to wait till December. Until then, if you like the video, please be sure to follow the official Blasphemous Discord server. Everything is going on this, basically going to happen on this Discord. And if you like the content, or if you want to watch Blasphemous speedrun, feel free to follow this channel or to go to my Twitch channel. And until then, I bid you goodbye, and then maybe we'll see in the next video some new stuff regarding the Woods of Eventide DLC.